I look red as a tomato. Why do I look so red? Is it the heater? Girl. Anyway. Hey guys, me Chris. Oh my god, I look so red. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know why I look so red. Hey guys, it's me Chris. Doing today. We're back with another reaction video. So today we're gonna be reacting to Ethel Cain's PERVERTS album. I'm so excited, you guys. I don't want to make y'all wait. Y'all know how I feel about Ethel Cain. Ethel Cain is just like she's an artist in my opinion. She is like the artist. Like she makes art. She's like, I love Melanie Martinez and Lana Del Rey, and like Ethel Cain's like the combination of my two favorite. Ethel Cain's the combination of my two favorite artists in one. It's like the story, and we'll get into when I listen to Punish, but like it's like this. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so I'm going to just before I go into the into like the project, I'm just gonna read like the lyrics on Genius. Well, I'm gonna read like the description and see what everything means, because these albums are gonna be Heaven Has Forsaken the Masturbator sets the stage for the EP's narrative of self-hatred, of self-gratification. So yeah, pervert, you know. Okay. So it's like this whole album's gonna follow the story of someone, or stories, I should say, of people who hate themselves on the way that they gratify, the way that they receive pleasure. That's why it says it's happening to everyone. Because, okay, so this track is about was a man who was psychically sexually attracted to power plants in the title track of his EP. So this is what it explores, and each character has a different pervert. So that's what we're going through. Okay, so this is about the defunct Bruce Mansfield power plant. Not Ethel Cain admitting that she masturbates to fucking power plants. You know what? Better than anything else. So let's get into it. Let's get into track number 1, Perverts, which is the first one. Oh, this is the intro she put on her, like, in the announcement. Ooh, I love how it's distorted. Like, it becomes, like, it sounds evil now. Ooh, I hate the silence. Ooh, I hate the silence. Heaven Has Forsaken the Masturbator, I think, is a really clever way to start this album. This whole entire thing. It just makes sense. It has a double meaning with, of course, like, you know, there's a lot of sins there are a lot of religions that believe that masturbation is evil, but also like it's not right for some people to get off on what they get off on. That's a clever lyric because it has a double entendre. I forget how like scary Ethel Cain can be listening to her. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I'm not actually, but like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm kind of fighting for my life right now. I'm trying to like, this is Goofy and Isaiah, and I hate it. No one you know is a good person. Everyone gets off on some type of perversion, which it kind of explains it's happening to everyone. Yeah, I could tell this is not going to be a liked project by the whole entire, like, the general public, but also maybe even her fan base too, that she's garnered, because it's not poppy. This is very much like an experience. This is a movie in the form of like a song. That's such a good line. Slow driving leads to such, oh, it's true. The most hardest things in our lives, the most chaotic things, often lead to like the most darkest and saddest songs and the darkest parts of our life. As a musician myself, I know that way too much. Oh my god, it's kind of ridiculous. That's why there's like an oscillator and like an electrical noise, because of like the story that this song is portraying. is like this person who is more sexually attracted or psychologically attracted to power plants. So it's giving like the like an electric sound, and also silent too. It's silent because they're like, ooh, that instrumental on the back. There's like this instrumental on the back that I really am digging. Oh, I hate how it ended. The sirens are not making it any better.
It's happening to everybody.
And then going to Punish. I've listened to Punish already, so if I still have the reaction of that, I'm gonna put it here. I'm terrified. Oof. Oof. Already hitting hard. I'm not telling y'all anything that's wrong with me. I'll take that to bed of me. The vocals are so good. Wow, this is so haunting. It's so beautiful. Oof. Ooh. Okay, what does Mar mean and what does Plashe mean? Impair the appearance, disfigure. So I will disfigure myself. Damn. Oh, interesting. The last name from France, so, and name of an area on Placheville, Louisiana. So I mean that makes sense, Louisiana, but also it could be about Gary Plache, who was an American man known for publicly killing someone. Interesting. So he was a bad person, basically, and also a good settler. Ooh, okay. Ooh, with headphones, this is gonna be insane. Oof. Ew. You're tidy. I just went into a trance. I'm trying to grab myself back into this world. I just went somewhere else. Either way, I love Punish. I don't listen to it often because once again, this is a project that I feel like I'm already going to not listen to often because it's a project that like, it's like an art piece. It's not like I'm gonna put this on my headphones and listen to it. I mean, I listen to, I listen to Ptolemy like every fucking day on my headphones, so like I'm crazy. But this is not like music, it's like, it's sound. It's like a sound story. For how this album is going and how I think the sound is gonna be, Punish I think was a good single to release because it's a more song. It's a song basically, and it's really good because it describes the entire like premise of the album. You know, I'm punished by love. I know Punish is about the actual like. It's actually about like a regular pervert. That's crazy to say. It's about you know, a pervert that we normally think of when we think of a pervert, you know? Who physically mans himself to simulate the bullet wound in order to punish himself because of what he did to his son. So, take that as you will. So track number 3, House of a Psychotic Woman. I have not heard this. I know this has been out on YouTube for years already, but I have not heard it in full, and if I have, I don't remember it. So, you know how Apple Music has like a 2025, like comes out 2025, and that threw me off. That's kind of scary, whatever. Not it being just I love you. I think it's like, so that's all I get. This whole album sounds like Isaiah, and I think that's intentional because Isaiah was a pervert in a way. I mean, he was, you know. I think I'm gonna like this one a lot. The instrumental is beautiful. It reminds me of Dust Bowl. That song is one of my favorite looking songs. That song is so good. I'm so sorry I listened to it, but like, it's just so good. We're kind of continuing on with this theme of loving something that you know is not good for you, but you cannot explain why you love it. It's just something you do like. This song is telling me that this song is telling me what it means to be loved because I haven't been in love before. So, thank you, Ethel Cain. Oh, the whirling and the moaning heard in the track represents like the shame of psychosis of the perversions, but also like masturbation. That's genius. It's so eerie, but like I don't want to stop listening to it, you know? These lyrics are making me like read I love you so much. It's like I love you is not becoming like a real word to me because I'm reading it so much. And it kind of makes sense if like she's repeating it to herself like I love you. Like it's kind of giving like someone rocking like back and forth like because they're kind of a psychotic. So it's kind of like they're in like a mania episode or like a manic episode or psychosis where they're like literally just speaking to themselves like I love you. That's what I'm getting at. The imagery is very strong here. 2 is God's love. Okay, that's interesting. She's waiting for God to love her, for the love to return to be mutual. This links back to the previous lyric, and I always wondered if it would come back to me and love me the way it was supposed to, but maybe it lied, which would make sense not even with just this project, but also Preacher's Daughter, because that's what happened in Preacher's Daughter too. It also links well to the album's concept and identity, with this track an embodiment of the theme of perverts and perversion being more subtle, to lead someone away from what is naturally or what is considered natural or acceptable. They are both exiled or cursed. So yeah, this is like just the story of Adam and Eve, and there's a lot of layers to it because God condemned it. You know, God condemned Adam, like Adam and Eve eating the bite of the apple. And now they're still cursed and they're psychotic because they're waiting for it, waiting for the love she longs for, and the euphoria and the love verses with I love you to show that the confessed cycle is destined to repeat. So track number 4, Vacillator. I think that's how you say it. Okay. The pervert of extremes. The vacillator declares that if you love them, keep it to yourself, as an emotion of love is too menial for the individual to handle. I read what menial was and I completely forgot what it meant because I swear a housewife said menial or something. I don't know, maybe it's just not requiring much still and lacking prestige. Yeah, because as the emotion of love, so love is too like unimportant for an individual to handle. The second single up to the EP prides itself almost desolate field, much as a vacillation it finds its name after. By definition, is someone who is indecisive or hesitant, usually out of fear, in relationship, idealistic view of love and crave emotional connection. Shit. They may be sensitive to rejection, abandonment, and may feel overlooked or judged. This is probably my song then. I'm scared. Dating is as time goes by, they summit whereas that reality sets in. They begin to feel disappointed, rejected, and frustrated in certain situations. They tell themselves about their partner and their relationships. As a result, they have hesitation not being met in their marriage. I'm so sorry, I'm getting triggered. So if I start to cry because this is what I'm going through right now, please look at the other. Oh fuck, this is gonna be my track, isn't it? Well, at least I have a song to guide me through what I'm going through currently. So I guess that's a win. I don't know. I don't know. Like the reverb is becoming more like as you go and listen to it. real because I get anxious and leave. Ooh. The hum and the guitar? The senator fears not this might, as anger deters the vexation away from haunting feelings of loneliness. Oh, I'm getting called out left and right. I am getting called out left and right. Why am I catching strays right now? Fueling an appetitive aggression as violence confers in passion, and passion eradicates isolation. Well, not violence. Let's get out of the way. Not violence at all. Want the connection of an idle commitment. Doesn't want the connection, or they'd rather have them fulfill their physical desires rather than emotional ones, and an emotion too strong for the facilitator to stabilize. So it's like loving them is too much. Reverent to consequences awaiting them. The facilitator is allowing themselves to do anything for their lover. Emotionally numb and fears to feel even into physical torture. Damn. Yeah, so it's basically someone who's become very numb because they have been jaded. I mean, so basically, at this point, they're like, any love I can get, I want. And that's why everything else is awaiting them. Is allowing themselves to do anything for their lover, emotionally numb to the fears to feel to even physical torture, as they don't dwell on self-isolation sense. So they don't want to feel any emotion. So as long as they have someone to fulfill that side of themselves, they just don't care. You're clawing at the edge without noticing. So that's a double entendre of, edging, of course. But also, Vacillator is very indecisive about love. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, fuck. The more I'm like, shit. They just don't want to. This is like, in a very like casual, I'm getting like a very casual person who like just has sex and, no shame in that. But it's just like, they don't want to fully commit because they are afraid of emotional commitment. That's what it is. So they'd rather just experience love and sex, but never want the full thing. Also, fluctuating between two extremes of attachment and detachment. Finding the allure in their partner's helplessness. The facilitator fears of being alone and unloved, but finds a perverse comfort in their partner's visibility to cope, as it confirms their partner's emotional investment to the relationship. Wow. I mean, oof. That's like horrible. That's so sad. So it's like they like watching their perversion is watching their partner suffer for them, because it shows them that they are in love and invested with them. Wow. That's what it is. The vacillator is basically like they go from either in or they're out. Like it's like very much like in or out, That's what it is. It's not this. This is a very complex thing, and I mean that makes sense why. And so if you love it, keep it to yourself. So I don't know if it's my song or not. It's very dark. It's very deeper than what I have experienced. But I think I resonate with it because I am also a very black and white person. I just love the vacillator and I'm still getting attacked left and right. So that's fun. Thank you for teaching me a new term, Ethel Cain, that I will be taking to therapy. But shit. I'm gonna start crying for some reason. Why do I feel like I'm gonna not be okay? Well, catch me crying to the song later. Not to get personal, but I think I'm not like extremely like, and I'm not like a extreme, because I think there are levels to it. I don't think I'm like an extreme vacillator, but I think I definitely have traits that are very similar, so that's fun. Okay, cute. Cute. Okay. Chat number 5, a non-list. A non-list. Okay, so this is someone who is a euphoria deep-rooted in perversion. This track sees the individual let go of preconceived stigmas around self-gratification and feed themselves into masturbated desires. So it's like, this is a person who masturbates, basically. That's all it is. It's just someone who masturbates. And that it's viewed as a perversion in many like religions, so that's why it's on this album. I want to know love. I want to know how it feels. And the resting place of Christ, an allegory for how one must torture oneself and their humanly sins to reach true heavenly virtue in life later. The individual ADP narrates around seemingly repenting for his adolescence on a long road astray. The fervent cries falls on God's deaf ears and ultimately caves to indulgence, sacrifices his religious petulance for self-gratification. So it's like, he feels like God abandoned him and he couldn't take it anymore. And you see how it like built up and then it like, it's now like insane. And then it silenced out. Ooh. And there's like this like sense of like shame in their voice. Oh, and then it transitions right into Pull Drone. What is Pull Drone about? Pull Drone describes the stages of a simulacranium, a theory by Paul Baudrillard, describing the phenomenon of a copy without an original. So we're gonna get into this, because I need to listen to it. And it chronic in a similar vein to 100 off of Ethel Cain's Ambient Psychotic Count. It chronicles the individual's journey from the ring towards the so-called divine theater. So let's see. Apathy, I am what I am. So it's going through the stages of this theory. So this pervert is the other way to describe a pervert, which is to distort or corrupt the original course, meaning, or state of something, or to lead somebody away from what is considered natural or acceptable. So I am what I am, and I am what I am nothing. Negation of self is internal reckoning by using the word nothing. Now after that, so the apathy leads to disruption, which is this is the second step. Disruption, which is realizing that you can escape the greater dark and become aware of ring and transcendence. So it's describing the stages of perversion. So apathy, disruption, feeling like you need to do this, and then 3 is curiosity. You want to see what this is about, you know? Simulation, the feeling of enlightenment, the connection with a higher power, short-lasting, you desire to get it, to get it more. To get it once more.
Overwhelming. I will dislocate my jaw to fit it all in.
Okay, so rabid and aggressive, the beginning of demanding euphoria that comes from assimilation. No longer subtle with a slow pull. It's like you're now fully wanting to get into this.
Send down your cord into suffocation in my ear.
Then realize the veil between the divine theater and the great dark, becoming unsure of the reality and what defines it unraveling. So by the way, I'm kind of trying to make this into more simple terms, because then we get into like the great ring, the great dark, in the Divine Theater. I think if you want to watch more on what Ethel Cain has to say about the Divine Theater, then go to her YouTube channel. I've watched it, but I feel like I want to kind of get this in a more the way it's trying to be explained. But there's probably way more a better way I can, you know. Oh, that sounded the perversion. Sounded perversion.
It is so good, bearing false witness. The sinner's errand.
And the word of the EP forms a namesake for itself to the deviation from righteousness, be sexually formations of speech or through one's self-prescribed justice. I am nothing, or I am what I am nothing. Takes from the first one, the whole narrative, or behind the whole narrative being loved in its potential words. But in this quotation, she expands the narrative for to account for speech, and not to lie about what you in turn will make a fault witness. So bearing a false witness. The omnis who found the sharp eyes of God lied in order to protect themselves from sexual deviancy. Resentment to be in the Divine Theater. Okay. Hate is so genius. I love that. Separation from be doing your perversion. After you fall, you have to go into this new world, kind of like how Adam and Eve were cursed out of the Garden of Eden. So there will always be a self-punishing, consistent resolution. It's like a cycle. You will always do things that you hate you, and it's always going to make you hate yourself. I want to talk about I will claw my way back to the Great Dark and will never speak of this again. It's so interesting. The Great Dark, a fragment of Ethel's overarching ideology, is a place of normality. It's like reality. The reality in which grounds us to our baseline of existence. Ethel is calling back from the Divine Theater, the place of absolute tranquility, to gatekeep it and away from the general populace. But also another user is saying like how it's refers to probably how in the general consequence of the audience, she states that she can't talk about what happened, but only what came before and after. Alright. Chat number 7. Etini. I think that's his name. Etana Etini. Running all our lives only to reconcile our own fatalism upon the realization of the theater's existence. About an architect renowned for his dystopian design aimed to invoke changes in social value. Like to the ring iconic depicted in the photo for the Perverts shoot, the ring has the same theoretical structure patterning. It has the same theoretical structure. That's interesting. There's a speech that tells the story of a suicidal man who goes on a run and attempts a heart attack. And he keeps running and running day after day, and gradually he doesn't want to die anymore because he's been running as a hobby. Inform the extension of us, the listener. We run all our lives to escape, but one day we don't need to. We will just accept our fate and embrace the existence of the Divine Theater waiting for us somewhere out there. That's so beautiful. Number 8, that Torchia. I need to have like a word pronunciation guide. It's an instrumental too. This is an instrumental. So it's a hum because it transpires in the Divine Theater. So Torchia, the bitter acceptance of the knowledge that God will let you near, but He won't let you stay. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. It also stands as the Greek analogous combination for both thanatos, which is death, and then the subsequent torture of testicles through orogenia. What is that? Is that like a... Oh, it's pain. It's testicular pain. So which is about like, you know, that's a perversion. Which fits the theme of sinful masturbation. But this is like unintentional. This is not like Ethel's, like, this is like what we, the listeners, have gathered. So many added layers to this production. Like I can hear so much added, like, I could hear the layers. And it really does encapsulate the feeling of what Ethel said she was going through while listening to like the Divine Ring and stuff. I need to go rewatch that video after this now because it's gonna make it's. I think this album is gonna click a lot more, or EP I should say. It's gonna click a lot more when I listen to this again. Alright, track number 9, Amber Waves. This is the one I've been excited to listen to. Someone who enters the Divine Theater, and heartbreakingly, the individual becomes fixated on the euphoria given by the theater, craving it so much that they resort to the addiction. They resort to addiction to find this theater. There's also a reference to Amber's Wave, which is like the movie. They're reflecting. It's so beautiful. I love the guitar. It has the most beautiful like instrumentals. The intro sets up like the element of addiction to find the Divine Theater, which is a perversion. That's what I was kind of talking about in the intro of this video. Ooh, that's so beautiful. Oh my god. Oof. Wow. Devil I know is the devil I want. Giving like growing pains, like the type of sound. So Amber is the personification of love cast aside to get high. Many other ways. I love that like into that tonation, that intonation. From the medications. I kind of want to really like dive into like the meaning of the song. So like days go on by time, so you know the person is numbing themselves from reality, and it's making them feel very much like not in reality because they're on drugs. This also fits the desolation where the person has lost both reality and divine heaven lost, so they're just kind of floating. And yet, is it not fun to feel in any other ways? Like, is it not, like, is it like, basically, like, there's nothing really else to do than get high? Like, that's what it is. So this is the whole entire meaning of Amber Waves. Whatever this person may offer them, love, sex, safety, means nothing to the comfort and pills that they take. It's not also about drugs too. It could be about many vehicles. Hayden says in the music in a YouTube video as well too. I kick rocks when walking is good. The idiom "kick rocks" means to it means to run away from something, and walking could be to refer to when life starts to get better, but you find more solace in getting high. So you still leave. So there are people that you love, but you fear that the addiction is going to ruin it. And then it's slightly more literal, where kicking rocks while walking generally means that's something one does when they're frustrated or bored. So if walking itself is good, there's no need to kick rocks to make it feel better. Yeah. So like they still take drugs even when they don't need to, because it's like they can indicate the author's reliance on drugs. And pretend that I pretend at the chain link that I am the wood. So a chain link fence is of wood made of heavy steel wire with woven together with diamond-shaped patterns. So it's like the chain link fencing is a representation to the narrator's state exposed and a fragile skin to the effects of drug addiction brought by the narrative's usage. This is such a heavy. This is such a heavy song to end it on, but I think it makes sense because it is heavy and it's something to keep listeners like thinking about it. And I think it's a song that sadly a lot of people can relate to. If you're getting, you know, I sympathize for addiction. It's such a horrible disease, and I pray for everyone who has gone through it or is going through it. Um, yeah, but thank you for watching this reaction. This is a very evocative album where you have to really listen to it. This is an album that's gonna be something for me where I need to listen to it like on my own and really reflect on it. This is a more reflective album rather than like an album we listen to because you want me to listen to music. Ethel Cain is a enigma for sure. And this album is proving that she does not care about. You know, Preacher's Daughter had so much success. She could have easily continued to go on the path of like I'm gonna be a pop star in that regard. But no, she decided to do what she wanted to do. And it was to make this evocative and very much like art piece of an album. So I praise her for that completely. Like, that's amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.